Well, welcome everybody to a new video, and this is going to be a repair of a gynoid, a silicone doll, model 11. This doll suffered a lot of knee damage due to a lot of posing. And one of the things you're going to need are shown here in these pictures is a 8-gauge marinating kit for pouring the silicone in, the two-part silicone mix, which is 0030 hardness, sold by BB Dino, and this is from Amazon. Some saran wrap to stabilize and make it set better, some nitrile gloves, especially if you're going to be using acetone. And then also you're going to need a weighing balance to weigh your silicone two-part mix precisely. So this doll had gone through a lot of photos over the course of years and suffered a lot of damage to the knee due to the posing that she was in high heel, sorry, not high heel, but high heel boots that you couldn't see the initial damage. And when I put her down on the sofa here just to examine the situation, both knees were severely damaged. The right knee was by far the worst. And if you open up the wound, you can kind of see there's a huge gap or cavity inside the knee. And I think this is one of the defects from this design, is there wasn't enough silicone poured inside. It was maybe a centimeter or two thick silicone, which actually does not create a lot of buffer for the joints. So one thing I wanted to do is put a lot of packing material inside the knee, just some white cotton wool or some kind of fiber material that you might have lying around. Just throw it in there. Stabilize the wound is the first and most important priority. So I have a two-part mix here, weighed out about 200 mils, 100 mils of each part A and 100 mils of part B into this syringe, and then injected that into the cavity. So like I said, the packing material is something similar to what you might get when your doll arrives in that kind of cotton-based bag, or the head material, the head bag, for example. You can just cut that up into little bits and pieces and just put that inside the cavity. This really helps, I think, to create a more stronger bond. It's like fiberglass with the glass material added to it, or carbon fiber, same thing. It just creates a stronger repair. So I added about 200 mils, and that was just enough to prevent it from oozing out of the knee. The next step is to create a dyed material, a dyed amount of silicone to blend in the wound. So you're going to close it up. But if you just use the basic two-part mix, you're going to see that it doesn't match really well. So we're going to do that next. So here you can see the joint itself. It's just basically an Allen key with a bolt on one end. And I think it is welded on one side. You can see that on the left side, the Allen key is welded. So there was no need to retighten the knee at this point. So using a simple cosmetic you can buy on Amazon or anywhere in Walmart, you can blend that into the silicone mix to create a better color match to the skin tone that you're trying to achieve. So in this case, it was just a natural skin a very light color that was needed to blend it properly. And so here I really got that on a piece of cardboard here, and I'm just going to apply it to the incision, well, in this case not the incision but the actual damaged section, and it'll basically be put together and dry like this, so it'll bond, and you should see very little when it's all set. So I'm just using a simple weighing spatula. You can use a stick or some kind of little rod, or maybe a piece of wooden stick to apply the silicone, but I like these little metal easy cleanable spatulas to apply the adhesive. Now you can see it's a pretty close color match, but it's not 100%, and I probably should have used slightly less coloring, but again, this is just a learning experience. So I'm just trying to make sure that every single piece of this damaged area has got adhesive on it, and that also applies to the other areas in the knee which are more or less punctured through, and those I'm also going to add a repair as well. So you can see that none of the silicone that's inside the knee cavity is seeping out, and you don't want that, because when you bend the knee after it dries or sets, it's going to create a big bulge, as you could imagine. So you want to add just enough, and this is pretty much about 200 mils to fill this cavity. And I determined that from just pure guesswork. I think a friend of mine who's pretty good analytical guy, he helped me out, kind of also say that probably less is more here, but you want to have it more, maybe more packing material inside the knee to create, at least so that when the joint is adjusted by bending the leg or bending the knee, it won't create a cavity or create more damage. So that's something we did think about as well. So here I'm just filling it in as best as I can. And then the next step would be to apply the Saran wrap around the knee. This is actually kind of tricky because if you apply the Saran wrap loosely, it doesn't close the wound properly. And here I am just applying basically a Q-tip with some acetone, soaked in acetone, just to clean out some of the areas around the area. So just basically the Saran wrap here is just to stabilize everything and make it closed up as best you can so that it'll dry closed properly. If you don't do this, you're going to have obviously big gashes and it's going to look pretty bad. On the other hand, if you do it too tightly, it might not be done. It'll look kind of weird. You'll notice that the closure will be too much and it'll wrinkle. So you just want to have it so that the Saran is as even as possible around the opening here, where the opening was. So this is either you're looking at like this, and you might want to redo it if you find that the gash is not opened, or sorry, it's opened too much. So we might want to redo it. But in this case, we did it several times, and I think this is one of the attempts where I think we're kind of happy with it. But anyway, we added more Saran around the leg just to close it up some more, because I think the more we added, the better the closure appeared, and so that at this point overnight it will dry pretty much closed. And that's the problem with these incisions, is they're accidental, they're damage, and closing them by just friction alone is not going to work, because the silicone glue is like a lubricant, and it prevents that from being properly closed. So just apply a decent amount of Saran to keep the area incision closed. So the next day, later, I took off the Saran, and I'm pretty happy with the repair. Looks like it did set pretty well. Of course, there's areas where it doesn't blend really well. So here I'm going to take, in this case, this is more of that coloring cosmetic, and I'm just going to blend it in to the existing amount of, I've just pre-mixed a little bit of silicone. I'm going to try to paint that in and blend it on the leg a little bit better. So this is an optional part, a step that you may or may not need, but it is potentially one that will improve the appearance. You can also dilute this with a little bit of acetone if you're going to use a brush to make it maybe flow a little bit better, or basically look better in the end. That's up to you. In this case, I was just going to use a simple brush and just apply it and try to blend in the area a little bit better. It is kind of sticky. I mean, that's probably where acetone might help, but at this point I was pretty happy that I just got the repair done. The cosmetic part of it is not really relevant too much. This girl will never be 100%. So as you can see, after the repair has been mostly done and painted, I basically add talcum powder and I just blow it over the area I've just done. This helps to reduce the shine, a little bit dull the area, so it looks a bit more blended in, and that's what you basically get after the repair is done. So it's not too bad. I think it was quite nice. Repair looks like there's a scar, but it is functionally repaired, and I'm really happy about it. So the next part of the video, I'm just going to talk about finger pokes. Now these are going to happen almost unavoidably if you have a doll with soft hands, and even dolls with hard hands will suffer from this. So in this case, there's quite a few. And I used the same method as before, just a spatula, and you're going to use your dyed silicone mix. You can also use Permatex if you guys want to, the silicone, flowable silicone, and just put a little bit of coloring in it to blend it a little bit better with the finger. And so in some cases, I just want to add a little bit over the surface where there's obviously some abrasions. In some cases, I just want to inject the silicone into an area where there is a cavity. In this case, it's the finger poke has a large opening inside it. You just want to add as much as you can. In this case, it's pretty common area where you get finger pokes, and I just add as much silicone to reinforce the area. And that's pretty much all. It'll start to seep out because it is kind of a little bit squishy over there, so the silicone will come out. All you have to do is just simply wash it with acetone. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video on how to repair silicone dolls. All right, thanks for watching.